Card Service International presents The Energy of Sales Success with Tom Hopkins. Session 3, The Method, Making a Great First Impression. Learn the secrets of making a good first impression and establishing a rapport with potential clients. Develop the know-how to put potential clients at ease, gain their confidence, ascertain their needs, and determine how to best qualify them for an account. Our mission to provide the very best service in the transaction processing industry today.
Let me begin this session by asking all of you, and of course all of you, a question. In fact, better yet, finish this little statement that we've all learned many years ago. There's never a second chance for a good first impression. And as fundamental as that sounds, you can never forget the importance of your original contact when you first meet the merchant. You see, they're busy, and you come in. Now, it could be a pre-planned visit. They've either called or the telemarketing people generated the lead. They know you're coming. But when you first walk in, they start judging you. Now, your appearance is very important, as we talked about earlier. Walking in dressed cleanly, neatly, looking sharp, again with this attitude, this assumptive attitude that we are there to do business. Now, you've got to mentally prepare yourself for that. It's almost like a little psych-up. And one thing you veterans, I'd like you to try, and you new people, try this as you become more mature in the business. One thing you can do to get the adrenaline pumping, to get yourself excited before a presentation, is relive one of your best presentations that you recently had. Like say you recently went in and you were eloquent, you closed the transaction, you walked out with the business, they are a loyal client now. By going back mentally and reliving how that whole transaction took place, you'll start getting these good positive feelings when you walk into the next client. You see, the way you walk in is very important. Now, this may startle you, but UCLA did a study, and they proved through the study that the majority of people that purchased a product said yes to a salesperson not because of their product knowledge or even their enthusiasm, but their air of confidence and how they walked in and presented themselves. Now, I know for you that are new, you might be sitting there saying, I walk in confident, I'm new at this. Please realize if you review these sessions a number of times before you go into the client, you will have a good feeling of confidence. In fact, at this moment, I will guarantee you that every one of you watching this session knows more than 90% of the merchants out there about your business. So if you know 90% more than they know, well, let's go in and act confident. And you're never in trouble if you go in with a commitment to ask those questions instead of going in talking. Now, another thing I want you to work on when you first meet a person is your tone of voice. Now, this is very important that when you first walk in and meet them, you listen to how loud they speak, and you want to match their volume. See, a lot of us go in and we're excited and we're a little loud, and a lot of them kind of are taken back because they're soft-spoken people. So match their volume for at least the first 90 seconds of your time with them. Not only that, I'd like you to work on matching the speed of their speech. Now, this is another way of, again, establishing a good rapport with them by matching the speed. If you come across as a fast talker, lots of wit and gregarious and outgoing, that is the stereotypical image that a person who's somewhat reserved and a slow talker, who's timid and shy, they have that as a salesperson, and right away up go the defenses. So I really, again, want you to match their speed and volume for about 90 seconds. Now, I also want to let you know that the opposite can be just as bad, meaning you might walk into a very fast-talking merchant. Hi, good if you come in. Yes, I call. I'm really interested to know about your services, so could you come on over here real quick? We've got a little time. Now no one's in the store. Come over and tell me more about what you guys do at car cars. What is it about? We're very excited. About what? See, if you do that, they'll be going, Come on, talk. So again, you have to, developing the right performance, match, speed, and volume. The next thing I want you to think about, forget the product, forget the service. I want you to think about, how can I establish some rapport quickly with this merchant? Now, there are some things you can do, and these will always work. You can discuss something that's very topical that's happened recently in the community. This could be a tremendous weather pattern change. It could be a sporting event. Hypothetically, you're working in a city and they just won the Super Bowl. I'll guarantee you for a month, that could be something topical with almost everybody. Another thing that will work is a sincere compliment. You're just opening up. Boy, you've chosen lovely colors for the business. It feels good when you walk in. Flattery works when it's sincere. I mean, you'll walk into some brand new businesses, they spend a ton. Compliment them. Don't be afraid to say things like this. You know, in my line of work, I go into a lot of businesses, and I'll tell you, this feels real good. You've done a nice job. Great colors, very nice. You should be proud of yourselves. See, they love that. Now, there's some businesses you're going to go into where you just can't say anything. You know, and don't get cute. Don't go, boy, this place is unbelievable. No, don't say anything, all right? Now, here's another thing I want you to be careful of. Use their name the way they give it. See, a lot of people in sales don't do that. He introduces himself as Andrew Brown, and in 2 minutes you're calling him Andy. And he has always hated that. And right away he starts thinking, typical salesman, changing my name, trying to get familiar. I read some book about that. Use the name the way they give it. In fact, I'd like to suggest you use their last name for a while. You see, here again, we are a very familiar society today, and jumping on first names is so normal. That's why I want you to be different. Why not use Mr., Miss, Mrs. for a few times? See, I used to like to do that, and then I would get license to use their first name. So, Mr. Johnson, I'm sure glad that we are going to have a few minutes to chat. What we've done for businesses like yours has been real exciting, and I look so forward to sharing it with you. You know, Mr. Johnson, how long have you been in business? Now, I might Mr. Johnson him 2 or 3 times. Then I'm going to say, by the way, my first name is Tom. Would it be okay if I called you by your first name? That is so unusual today. You'll be amazed. He'll go, you know what, that's real nice of you to ask. Yeah, I'm Stan, and in fact, I want to get my wife in here. I want her to hear this. Barbara, come down here. Barbara, this is Tom. Hi, Barbara, nice to meet you. And now you've got a nice rapport building, all right? Another thing I'd like you to do is, how many of you ever forgotten a person's name after you get it? See, we can't do that. I mean, I've done it. I was an entire weekend with a client, and it came time to close the sale, and I looked at him and said, should we put it down as Ron or Ronald? He says, Tom, I think Jim makes an awful lot of sense. So after that, I developed a habit, and it works for me. It'll work for you if you try it. When a person gives you their name, as soon as they give it to you, you repeat it 4 times. Now, get in the habit of this. Repeat their name 4 times. Bob Murray Brown, Bob Murray Brown, Bob Murray Brown, Bob Murray Brown. Repeat it 4 times. Now, to yourself, of course. I know you I know you know that, all right? Another thing I'd like you to do is always look for areas of common ground. You say, what do we have in common? I mean, let's say hypothetically, you walk in the office, he's got a autographed basketball, and you happen to enjoy basketball. Forget business, talk some basketball. You might see golf clubs. They're sitting there outside of his office. Maybe he's intending to go play golf. You know, you might, but now don't become a full-time golfer. That's another thing I don't want you to worry about. Don't say, oh, you golf? Oh, that's all I do most of my days. He will say, where are you going to be when I need you? Why don't you try this? Oh, you are fortunate to play golf? You enjoy it? Oh, I love the game. Someday I'll play a lot of golf. Right now, I'm so committed with Card Service International to serve my clientele and make sure we do our job to help them build their businesses. See, that's what they want to hear. Now you have value, and you're not just a fellow golfer, okay? Also, I want you to work on eye contact.